there, welcome back to Limabean Living. In today's video, we are going to be doing something a little new for me. We will be making homemade caramel sauce, and we will be assembling a new kind of test of a cake for me. So making caramel has always been on my to-do list. I, as a baker, like to try new things, and if something can be made like homemade, I like to try it. Now, some things I haven't done yet are like homemade cream cheese, homemade yogurt. A lot of those things I've seen people use like pressure cookers or Instapots, and I don't have any of that. So I think I'm just going to hold off on doing that. But caramel was one, or caramel. I kind of say both, so you'll hear both throughout the video. Caramel is something that, I have always been interested in trying because it looked simple enough. So I will post the link to the recipe that I followed down below in the description box. But essentially, I'm just taking some sugar and heating it in a stainless steel pan or pot. They said to avoid nonstick. And I'm just cooking this over medium heat, and it will start to kind of brown and crystallize and then eventually become more liquidy and then be all liquid. And to be honest, at first I was like, this is taking forever. Like the start process is a little drawn out. But then once things kind of pick up, everything kind of goes by a little bit faster. So once all the crystals have like melted down and we have this nice caramely look of the browned sugar, we will be adding in some butter. And this steams, so you have to work quickly. I did have a whisk on hand in case there was a bunch of separation. That was something that the recipe warned for, but I ended up not needing to use my whisk. I just stirred really quick, and then I added in some heavy whipping cream. And after mixing in the heavy whipping cream, I really feel like I should have stopped there, and I'll explain why in a bit. But the recipe did say to let this boil until it reached 220 degrees. So that is what I did. I broke out my candy thermometer and let the mixture come to that temperature before taking it off the heat and letting it cool down. I transferred it to a little storage container, and I was in the mood to make some coffee, so I thought I'd see if it tasted good in my coffee. So I drizzled some in my cup and poured my little coffee concoction inside, and I thought it tasted pretty good. But the main attraction for the rest of this video is going to be me cake decorating, and we will be using the caramel I just made as part of the filling for the cake. Now, if you are not new to my channel, you know that I still have some vanilla frosting left over from the baby shower cake I made a couple videos ago. So I let that come to room temperature, and I'm just whipping it up to give it a nice buttercream consistency again. Then we're going to transfer it to a piping bag because that just makes putting the frosting on the cake so much easier, in my opinion. And then we will be stacking our layers of apple cake. Now I'm calling it apple cake, but really it's just my mom's apple bread recipe. That recipe results in a bread that is super moist and, in my opinion, really gives like a nice cake feel to it. And we will be doing layers of cake, vanilla frosting, and then some of our caramel sauce. Now, if you're interested in giving this a try, I have the apple bread recipe video on my channel. I will link that up above and in the description box below. And my vanilla frosting can be found pretty much on most of my cake videos as well. So let's talk about this caramel. Remember how I said I followed the instructions that the recipe said to heat it to 220 degrees? Well, this ended up, even at room temperature, once it cooled down, resulting in a very chewable caramel sauce. I was hoping kind of more for a liquid, and I think that is because I heated the mixture to a higher temperature. I believe that if I would have just mixed in the heavy whipping cream, until it was all the way mixed in and then taken it off the heat, it probably would have remained more of a liquid caramel sauce rather than this thick, chewy, candy type caramel. I think it would have been delicious either way, but for this cake, I was like scooping out this thick caramel and then trying to smear it on my buttercream, and it was too thick. So then I needed to heat it up a little bit to soften it, and that risked then melting my buttercream. In the end, you will see it worked out. It was kind of cool to have that chewy texture in my cake, but there was a lot of risk involved with like ruining the buttercream. One other thing that I considered doing was adding some maple extract to my vanilla frosting to make it like a maple vanilla frosting, and I think that combo probably would have gone well. And speaking of frosting, I am just, experimenting with the cake look. I had no vision in mind necessarily. I was really just trying to use up all of the frosting. And this very small mini cake was used to celebrate my brother's birthday. I gave him an option between this cake and another experimental cake that I did, and he chose this one, so we cut into it and celebrated it with him and his family over. And I think the overall consensus was that it was very delicious and, could possibly be made again for some birthday or party in the future. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching and following along as I made caramel for the first time. I'm excited that I now have that under my belt, and hopefully I can figure out how to get the perfect caramel sauce as the consistency that I was looking for. If you are new here, I would love it if you stick around and subscribe. I have tons of birthday parties coming up. My birthday season is coming up, and I'm actually in the midst of getting ready for my daughter's 6th birthday party. We're having a bird-themed party, so stay tuned for that, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Woohoo! You've made it to the end of the video. If you didn't know already, every Monday and Friday, you can find motherhood and lifestyle content on this channel. And since us moms have to do it all, that may mean yummy recipes, easy DIYs, mom hacks, cleaning and organization, or just a combo of everything. Please know that you are loved and you are made for greatness, and I will catch you in the next one.